Okay, the first step in increasing cultural competence is self-awareness. What research has shown is that from a very young age, in our childhood, we actually hold cultural biases. We tend to really enjoy being around people that are very similar to ourselves, that behave the same way, that communicate the same way. But when we work with people that behave differently, that communicate differently, we tend to view that in a somewhat negative light. And these cultural biases are very much based on our value system. And by values, what I mean is principles or qualities that a group of people seem to be good, positive, or worthwhile. When I work with a group of people in the United States and I say, what are the values that are important in American culture? The types of answers I get are self-reliance, are individualism, are freedom of expression, equality, communicating directly. And if we think about these values, and we think about the root cause of these values, they very much come from a historic perspective. The US was settled in a fairly short history compared to many other countries in the world. Freedom of expression was extremely important, as was religious freedom. Now, if I ask a group of people from Japan about the values that are important to them, they come up with actually very different responses. They will never say self-reliance and individualism. They will emphasize collaboration, consensus, and the idea of the collective group working together. Because in their culture, harmony amongst people is one of the key driving forces for success. And also, if we look at the roots of culture in that country, the history, the geography, the economics, very, very different from the roots of culture in the United States. So what I'm trying to emphasize here is we really need to understand ourselves. We need to understand how our cultural values influence us, because if we don't know that and we're not aware of that, it's very difficult for us to then observe and understand why other people may do things differently. And one of the key things that I really want you to take away today is that if we start to evaluate other cultures based on our values and our expectations, we're going to have problems. We need to be very open-minded, and we need to understand that other people look at the world in a very different way to the way that we do.